Hi kids, welcome back, and also welcome back to new subscribers. As always, I'm quite chuffed and always surprised and very grateful for finding the subscriber number tipping up a little bit. For those of you who have just joined us, where have you been? This channel is, I'm trying to find, like, not a gimmick, but a theme, you know. I mean, generally, my channel started off as a vlog, when the word vlog was cool, and it was just general day-to-day stuff and, you know, diary stuff. But it is gravitating towards film and TV and making things, which is what I kind of do. I'm an artist by trade, but I don't really put any drawing on this channel. So if you want to see more about how I draw stuff, how I illustrate things, how I sketch things, and how I use Photoshop, and if you ever needed tips on how to use Photoshop and stuff like that, or just general drawing tips, let me know. Yeah, so what are we talking about? I did put a post up a couple of days ago on the channel saying, what should I do this week? Should I do a Babylon 5 continuing review? Should I do a, what else was it? More on the Marvin kit and the Blake 7 gun, which I'm currently getting close to finishing. Or should I do something random? And I think I had a couple of votes saying, do something random. So this is going to be a kind of a mixed bag. Firstly, an unboxing. Let's do the unboxing. You may remember I did a video outlining my current top 10 sci-fi TV shows, which was very difficult. And even today, I'm still rethinking some of my choices. I'm probably not going to move on Doctor Who, Firefly, Blake 7, especially those. But one, you may remember if you saw it, one show that nearly never made the cut until after I'd uploaded the video to YouTube. I went, how can I not include this one? Because I was looking at my DVD racks and stuff, and I thought, how come I don't own this yet? So I decided to buy a cheap copy in the post, and it is dun, 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 dun. The Orville season 1. For a show that is basically Seth MacFarlane having a laugh, getting his jollies in a show that's like Star Trek, because he always wanted to do that kind of thing. He's a massive fan of Star Trek, so he's now at the point where, you know, he's got the money and the chops and the industry kind of connections to get something like this made. You know, it's a passion project, probably a fashion project as well. But he thought, well, you know, I'm going to make a comedy Star Trek. But unlike Galaxy Quest, I've never really liked Galaxy Quest. I'm sorry. I love the aliens, but other than that, I'm not a big fan of Galaxy Quest. But this, because Galaxy Quest is, you know, it's like, it's kind of taking the Michael out of Star Trek conventions and fans, etc., in a way. I mean, I know that their point of Galaxy Quest was not to ridicule the fans, but because it's saying that, you know, sorry, it's set in the real world, quote unquote, where basically Galaxy Quest is a TV show, even though there are real aliens in it later on. But this is actually set in a potential future. But Seth MacFarlane's non-comedy chops come out, and he's obviously put a heck of a lot of love into this, because he's got writers and creators from Star Trek and some actors who have been in Star Trek and other things. And everyone thought, oh, it's going to be Family Guy in space with fart gags and all this kind of stuff. And there are some silly jokes in here. There are some silly slapstick and stuff in here in the first season. But the second season, there are less jokes and more sci-fi. And a lot of people didn't like that, but I'm one of the people who loved that. Wow, it's a 4-discer. Never seen this type of case before. With a nice inlay thing. Yeah, so basically, a lot of people wanted more fart gags and stuff, but Seth said, look, you can't maintain a full 45 minutes of sci-fi with, puerile gags. I mean, he does it with Ted, fair enough. But that's an inherently funny concept. And Futurama does it, etc., etc. But I love that the Orville the Orville season 1 is class. And season 2 goes further into sci-fi and less into comedy. There are light-hearted moments in there, but it's more a case of, the co-pilot or the pilot of the ship just kind of going, oh, we're never going to get out by 5 o'clock tonight, are we? That kind of thing. But he can do no wrong, and I don't know why there isn't a third season. My favourite character, of course, is the robot Isaac, who's a cross between Spock, Data, and C-3PO. Played by a Brit, doing an American accent. What's his name? Sorry, I can't recall his name right now, and it's not written on the back. Sorry, British guy playing Isaac. If you haven't seen The Orville, I would suggest just give it a go. Give one episode a go. Yes, it's a little silly in places, but it's a heck of a lot of heart, and it gets better and better as it goes along. You soon fall in love with all the characters, and you know that he's a kind of Kirk. He's a kind of, well, he's not a Riker, he's more of a slacker. She's kind of your, as I say, Isaac is kind of your Spock Data type character. He's an engineer. Bortus there is kind of your, Worf. Then you got his ex-wife, Kelly, who's there to get on his nerves, but they kind of will, they won't, they fall back in love again. You got the Doctor on the end. Penny Johnson, Gerald, she's been in Star Trek in the past. It's a great show. It's a great show, and if you know how good the show is, I'm preaching to the converted. But this, I'm gonna watch this in between Babylon 5 episodes just to get the joy of it. When this was airing or streaming, when it was Orville Day, that's it. That was my joy. It's like finish work at whatever 8 o'clock, and I turn everything off. I'm watching my Orville. This is my program. This was my jam. So I'm glad. I don't know how I didn't remember it, but yeah. If anyone from Fox or Hulu or Seth MacFarlane's company, it's not Bad Robot, is it? Fuzzy Door Productions. We want more Orville, guys. It's just inspiring, and it gets better and better. And don't leave it too long. Like, look at Firefly. They've lost 2 of their main cast members. I know he's killed off 2, but have they lost 2? No, they've lost the 1. One has passed away. Don't let it get to that point where we start losing cast members before you bring it back. Bring back the Orville. Anyway, that's enough gushing over the Orville. I will be getting season 2 as soon as I can find it cheap enough, because I am not broke and I'm not very rich. And that's it for a Saturday special. A quick unboxing of one of. I mean, even if you like the comedy, it's funny. You can either like the sci-fi and to sort of tolerate the comedy, or you could tolerate the comedy and like the sci-fi. Honestly, I can't say enough good things about the Orville. It's fantastic. I did some research, and recently Adrian Palicki there, famously for playing Wonder Woman in a failed pilot, which was not great. I mean, she was okay, but it wasn't a great pilot. Anyway, she said in an event, I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest, because it's so complicated, and Seth wants to write it himself, and blah blah blah. And look, I get it. I just gave up making another film because it is too much. But Seth has given us countless seasons of Ted, which is a teddy bear saying rude things. And I guess if that's your thing, that's your thing. But the problem is, it's like the Orville is so good. It's so close to Star Trek The Next Generation with a little bit more humor in it, that we love it. And Seth, if you found the time to write the 3, surely you can find the time to write another. People still want it. And he can come back and go, no, I've scratched that itch. I've done my Star Trek show. That's it now. But man, I thought it'd run a lot longer than 3 seasons. Right, what's next? We've done that. Let's do this. I have a display cabinet. I never had one before. So with this place of mine being mostly furnished, I've got a display cabinet. So I've decided to put, occasionally when I get interesting stuff or stuff I want to remember and enjoy, I chuck it in the cabinet. Do you want to see what's in there? Go on, you know you do. Alrighty, now this cabinet does have an interior light, which is not plugged. It doesn't have a plug on it, and I don't even know if it works, but let's go through it. Obviously, it's sci-fi stuff. So, Gentle Giant C-3PO, one of the nicest things they've ever made. It's properly chromy. This is my second one. I sold my first one, and then I instantly regretted it, so I bought another. That trophy with the G on it is called Glammy Kid. It's from the Glamorgan, University of Glamorgan, and I finally won a Glammy at the end of the year. It's fiberglass, but it's nicely painted and everything. So the T2, Terminator 2 Battle Across Time, Universal Studios, Orlando. That's a nice pint glass with a sort of chromy finish to it. And inside it is a ticket for the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy Live, signed by Simon Jones, Arthur Dent. The flower is the buttonhole from a good friend of mine's wedding that many, many years ago, which I've kept. Maximilian, the Diamond Select figure. I think I might have done an unboxing on him in the past. He's absolutely great. Down here, someone gave me a Lego Captain Jack Sparrow. Savvy, why not? Mace Windu lightsaber chopsticks. Do they still light up? I may have taken the batteries out. Right, that one don't work. Hey, that one does, and it's purple. Look, purple's my favorite color, by the way. These came from my best friend, and I can't imagine they're any good to use because they're really slippery. What else have we got? Either a corgi or a dinky, original, I would say 1950s police box. This has nothing to do with Doctor Who. This was made by Dinky or Corgi, made of die-cast metal, and it was painted blue originally, but when I got it, it was already stripped. I think someone basically made molds of it. It's got some really nice detail on it, and it looks very much like a TARDIS, but it was made before Doctor Who was made. Big bot there. This is Voltron, as you may know. This is very hard to get hold of. I had to buy him in pieces. A friend of mine gave me 3 or 4 pieces because it's made up of 5 lions. And this is the slightly rarer 1981 or 82 version. I think 82, because it's got a blue face as opposed to a black face. He's missing wings on the back and a sword and a shield. And I've got an elastic band holding his green lion on because he's seen better days. But in total, this kind of thing will put you back about, I don't know, 150 quid. What have we got down here? This is a very limited edition Star Wars watch. As you can see, it's got the Lars Homestead on it. The writing at the bottom there in Aurebesh, the Star Wars font, says Tatooine. But the thing about this, it's got a leather strap as well. That was a bit of a rare run. Some of them had had a canvas strap, but if you look at see if it still works. There is literally sand in there behind the dials and stuff. This was made by a guy in the States who made a limited run of them, and it's got actual sand from Tunisia in it. On the back, 1977 to 2012, Lars Homestead 35th Anniversary Expedition, Terry Cooper, Tatooine Pioneer, because I was one of the founder, one of the 7 people who went back to restore the homestead, and you can't quite read that down. Limited edition, is it 421? Let's have a quick look. 421 of 1138. So you made 1,138, and mine's obviously TK421. TK421 is not my number, by the way. My number in the UK Garrison, 501st Legion, was 2135, which was my mum's birthday. Little Tweaky figure. He fell apart, so I had to glue him onto a base. He's seen better days. Old Bob never stands up. He's in the back. He's a Diamond Select. That's the Mego Vincent, the small one. And that's the Diamond Select Vincent. And then a Mego Sentry from the Black Hole. Very, very tiny wrists. Not very good. The Egyptian Ankh there was from my film Mummified, which you can see on my channel. That was 3D printed and I painted it up, and it's got some kind of Egyptian necklace around that a friend gave me. What have we got on the second shelf? A recognizer from Tron Legacy, a tin TARDIS which you can open and put like a light in. It's got a little candle light inside him. We've got two Zeroids, Sergeant Major Zero from Terrorhawks, the small version, and the big action Zeroid. Quite a nice replica of Luke Skywalker's lightsaber there. That was from a Chinese company that no longer exists. This is a replica of the Empire Strikes Back Luke Skywalker lightsaber that my mate Josh bought me for Christmas one year. Down here we've got another Egyptian artifact. It's got some badges. We've got a banana, my favourite fruit, off-world badge, green ADHD badge, just weird brass things, a bloody student's display, director's chair, sarcophagus, reel of film, bunch of skulls. A friend of mine made that. That's absolutely amazing. That's so cool. And a little director's sort of megaphone. A trophy. Best comic artist in the world ever. I wish. No, this was done by the good people at Hades Gate Productions, who don't exist anymore. They're publishers based up north, and they're great. That's Gary and Paula. Another banana, but it's not a real one. It's solid resin. That was from a previous job. A friend made them, and he was making them out of resin. He literally cast a real banana, so that always throws people. My Christmas tree, the only reason that's out is because I forgot to pack it away for Christmas. Emperor Davros figure from B&M or whatever. Really like this version of Davros from the 1980s story Remembrance of the Daleks, where he revealed himself to be Davros right at the very end. Love that. That was from my brother. This Dalek is a Dalek Emperor with a big head, but he's actually a scratch-built model. So all this stuff is glued down. There's a Dalek head there. And then the Dalek's head here is actually made of a rubber ball, a very dense rubber ball. But he's all battle damaged and stuff. My good friend Andy made that from scratch for me, so it's unique. This is just... Right, let's have a look at this. This is basically a matchbox. So I wrote Trilobite 20p. What does it say? I did this when I was about 12, by the way. I just peeled the matchbox off. Let's put it here so we can focus. So basically, I went to the Natural History Museum in London as a kid, and I bought a casting of a trilobite, which is a fossilized creature, and it's got one or two chips, like the chip on the corner there. But other than that, I really like it. It's, I'm surprised I still got this from my childhood. I did make a cast of it once out of plaster, and I've painted it really badly. Not very good, but I'm surprised I still got that. So that's a kind of sentimental knick-knack. I'll put that back later on. So what have we got in the bottom shelf? Bottom shelf, giant chrome skull. It's actually a money box. There's a slot in the back there. I got that from Doncaster Racecourse Tattoo Show a few years ago. More chopsticks, more lightsaber chopsticks. These were Lego lightsaber chopsticks. Do they still work? I can't remember how you switched them on. Oh yeah, let's switch on the back there. Look at that. These are still purple. These are still working really well. These were again made by the same friend who made me the bloody student's display jar there. We got a Liberator from Blake 7, the Dinky. Is it Dinky or Corgi? I can never tell the difference. I keep getting those two confused. In the background, a Helena 35mm Super 8 Cine camera, which was the holy grail when I was a kid. I always wanted one. They were $39.99. I could never afford it. My mate had one at the time when we made a number of short films. So this was bought and sent to me by the same person who bought and sent me this giant flintlock, Mr. J-Man Edwards from Cardiff, who's a rapper and a Joker cosplayer. He's been very generous and got both of these for me. So he's an absolute legend for that. So thank you for that, J-Man. This is a stapler. It's a 1960s stapler. Still works. It's got staples in it. But this, I think my mother, who worked in a betting office in London, she kind of borrowed this and never gave it back. But this is one of those rare kind of things that just reminds me of my mother. I don't have a lot apart from photos, you know. So that's a kind of reminder of dear old departed mother. This was a stone that was painted by my eldest child. Did a little heart there with some petals on it, and Dad and Nisha. So did that with the Sharpie, and I kept that because that's very sweet. It's very rarely I got stuff made for me from my kids. Rubber heads. These are from the Tim Burton exhibition. They go on your pencil toppers, basically. I don't even know if they're erasers, but I've always loved Jack Skellington. Some spare guns and stuff, and a broken Dalek plunger from my robot set. Number 6 badge from Port Miriam, very cheap, $3.49. Wasn't cheap to buy, but very cheaply made. That was from my Port Miriam thing. A Blake 7 bracelet from Mooncrest Models. No, I stand corrected. This is from Century Casting, who I don't think are in existence anymore, but I had to paint and assemble and finish that. So I'm quite happy with the way that turned out. And back over here, we have an assortment of things. We have a Pirates of the Caribbean Pieces of 8 coin. So my friend Glyn from Barrycon bought me that, so thanks for that when he went. This is not a real skull, but it looks really nice. It's a resin cast of a real skull that I bought in a charity shop for about £3, which is fantastic. The Adidas 3-finger knuckle duster type ring from the mid 80s, the late 80s. I bought that in London along with the rope chains, very hip hop from way back in the day. These were not cheap. They were like, the smallest one was about £40. But I always wanted the big Run DMC style chains. And at the back there, a copy of You Really Got Me by the Kinks, just because I wanted to get it framed, that I haven't got round to it yet. There you go. You Really Got Me. Because, was it last year or the year before? 60th anniversary of this record. And me and a friend of mine did the pop video to it, the official video to it, you know, in a sort of animated, cheap and cheerful style, which was great fun. What else have I got here? I just noticed that. Got a rock here from Port Miriam, 2029. Sorry, 2025. I haven't gone into the future. And a domino, which I found while I was out with my friend called Dom. So it's a sign. It's a sign. It's a reminder, basically. That is about it. That's all the thing. I can't put that in there one-handed. I'll have to put him there and sort him out later. That's the weird bunch of curios. If it ever changes, I'll do another one, but just having a snoop around, really. Now back to me. So there you have it for another week. I know it was a mixed bag, but that's generally what people asked for, something a bit random. Eye is going well. I keep watching my videos to see if this eye is actually doing the same thing as this eye. It should be, but now I'm very obvious. I'm like, is it? It feels great. There is a weird bit of sort of sensitivity up here, which in about, well, by the time you watch this, I'll have gone to the opticians for my post-op checkup. And then we're looking at getting this eye done as well. So that should be fun. No, I mean, I have had people ask me about the eye-op, and I said to them, look, go see my video about how I did the eye-op. There's no cringy stuff in there. There's nothing that's going to make you feel freaked out or horrible, but it has put quite a few people's minds at rest. And they were like, oh, well, I've got, you know, parents or someone I know who's about to go in for this op, and your video has actually helped. And it isn't as bad as I thought, you know. Honestly, I'd rather have an eye-op like I did last time than go to the dentist. The dentist is far more painful and expensive. Anyway, I've got a giant cup of coffee here. I had this at Easter way many years ago from my housemate Panda, and it had an Easter egg in it, and it's my favourite cup. Right, mixed bag over. If you'd like to see more random stuff, let me know. And if you've got any comments, as always, happy to answer 99% of questions, as long as they're respectful and interesting. If you're going to be obnoxious and trolley and, you know, just out to cause arguments and fights, sorry, this is not the place for you. I don't mind losing subscribers if I'm getting rid of the ones who are just, you know, abrasive edgelords, for want of a better word. Anyway, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time with either Babylon 5 or some model making stuff or something else. Who knows? It's all theory time at the moment. By the way, thanks to Heavy Spoilers for the t-shirt. Go watch his channel too. Take care now. Bye-bye then.